So I'm guessing that if you're watching this video now, the likelihood is that you're living a very restrictive day-to-day life, and the reason for that is because whenever you enter these busy, unknown or unpredictable environments, you're fearful of the impacts that they'll have on you and your body. And I was living this way every single day for over 7 years, with just tons of anxiety and panic whenever I entered any of these scenarios. And the first thing that I want to tell you is this is 100% not something that's just in your head, and it's 100% not something that's purely mental. You see, what's going on is that every single second of every day, our brain is continuously taking in unconscious information about our surrounding environment. This isn't just sensory information like things that we see, smell, hear, or touch. These are also ongoing variables like gravitational changes, positional changes, thermal changes, and also pressure changes. And what happens is all of this information is continuously delivered to the brain, and then the brain is commanding the body to respond in an appropriate manner. Now, we've got two main parts to our brain that are both really important to consider in this situation. We've got our higher, more conscious forebrain, and then we've got our unconscious, more primal midbrain. And what the role is of the forebrain is to inhibit the hyperactivity, hyperattention, and hyperarousal state of our unconscious midbrain. And the way it's able to achieve this is by receiving continually accurate information from the somatic sensory division of our peripheral nervous system. So what ends up happening is our body receives information about our external environment. It gets sent to the somatic sensory division, and that then gets converted into an electrical signal which is sent up to our brain. And then when our brain knows where it is in regards to our environment, it actually creates an inhibitory signal for our midbrain to be able to calm down its hyperactive behavior. Now, the problem really starts to come into play when certain receptors within our somatic sensory division of our nervous system either become damaged or hypotonic or just undertrained. And then what that results in is inaccurate information being continuously sent up to our forebrain. And because the forebrain is now receiving mismatched information about our environment on an ongoing basis, what ends up happening as a result is it's unconsciously unable to calm down the hyperactivity of the midbrain. And what that creates for the body is heightened sympathetic activity, or a higher level of autonomic activity throughout the body. And what that means for us is it means a higher level of attention or a higher level of arousal. So suddenly we're going to become far more alert to our surrounding environment. And if you're enjoying this video now and you want to learn more about what it takes to overcome this situation and calm down areas of hyperactivity within your brain, why not check out the Unbeatable Blueprint online course, where I take you through over 5 hours worth of life-changing content to try to get your body from point A to point B in your recovery journey. But back to what I was talking about, and a good analogy to use for this situation is to see your midbrain a little bit like an out-of-control dog and your forebrain like its owner. If you as the owner are well equipped to be able to handle the dog, then it will behave. But if you're not well equipped to handle it, then it will behave erratically. And this is the equivalent of our forebrain controlling and inhibiting our midbrain. If our forebrain is receiving accurate information, then it will be sufficiently able to suppress the hyperactivity of the midbrain. Because what ends up happening is that this excitatory activity of our midbrain actually fuels our autonomic nervous system and ends up creating a bunch of symptoms that are related to anxiety and panic. So this might include racing thoughts, an increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, sweating, clammy hands, clammy feet, and an increased respiratory rate. So long story short, the way of improving this situation is to go as far back as possible when it comes to finding the source that actually starts this cycle of events. And what that is to fine tune the sensory division of our peripheral nervous system, because we want to make sure that our forebrain is receiving continuous, accurate information about our surrounding environment at an unconscious level. What we want to be able to find out is the integrity and how well this system is functioning. And the way we do that is by having it assessed by a professional, and then in turn that professional should give you targeted neurological exercises to make sure that the sensory division of your peripheral nervous system is delivering more accurate and adequate information. And then what this is going to end up providing for us is corrections for certain dysfunctions within our own sensory division of our peripheral nervous system. And once we can fine-tune those dysfunctions, suddenly our brain and our body is going to start taking in much more accurate information about our environment, and our forebrain is most importantly going to be able to calm down the hyperactivity of our midbrain, and suddenly our body is going to offer us the license to be able to explore these new environments.